Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back once again to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. My name's Mark Love, and this morning I got a 2026, this is a Newmar Dutch Star 4081, one of the really popular models. Dutch Star is the #1 selling diesel pusher nationwide, and the 4081 is either their first or second most favorite floor plan. So we'll talk about that when we get inside. First of all, this is a 2026 model. There is some new graphic designs, some new colors, new interiors. You can get two-tone cabinets now. Your 360 bird's eye camera is now standard instead of an option. Let's go ahead and just start the walk around. First of all, I'll point out this little feature. This is actually a holder for a flagpole bracket that goes in here. So when you're at your college games, you can fly your colors, let everybody know you're still pulling for Michigan. If you are, great heavy duty grab handle right here, keyless entry. A couple of things I always like to point out. Now, one thing I'll tell you about this coach, when I came in today, I leveled it, which we don't normally do, but we're on quite a slope here. You can see how low it is here, and it'll be higher up on the other side. But I like to point out that our fuel tank has a protected stainless steel plate. Kind of hard to reach. Right there it is. With the air drop, you can see how low it is. But one of the nice things about Newmar doing this, they protect their fuel line on both sides of the coach with the steel plate. If you were to shred that tire, you're not going to tear up the fuel line. That's a simple thing to do, and not very many companies do it. So it's something I would suggest taking a look for if you're out shopping RVs. Okay, as we come down the passenger side, you can see in this first compartment, we get our full 3 cubic foot refrigerator freezer. This has dual zones, so you could set one up for drinks, one up for frozen food, stuff like that. And you can see it's got a 110 plug there. You can plug it into 12 volt, a couple of different sources. And another nice feature is this shelf that Newmar puts in right here. It was just wasted space, so might as well put something there that you can use. Over here in the second compartment, we've got a full pull-out manual slide tray, and this will pull out from either side. And while we're in this compartment, I like to talk a little about the Star Foundation and point it out. It's a good place to take a look at it. What we're talking about is this superstructure right here that Newmar welds onto the chassis during the chassis prep. Comes all the way out to the sides, goes down, supports your outer compartments. But if you look at this whole system, it lifts your floor joists, which are right here, up off the chassis rails. They're not laying directly on it. That makes for a stronger platform, and it kind of prevents the grout from cracking or tiles from cracking. If you hit a big pothole as you're going down the road, you're not going to tweak the frame as much because of this Star Foundation. Okay, right above this cabinet, we do have our 41-inch TV, 4K TV with a sound bar. And as you can see, we're under the awning right now. Should have brought those up first, I guess. We've got a couple of Girard awnings, Girard Novas. They come out, they articulate down. They cover the whole side of the coach. So when you are out there on a hot day and you want to watch TV or just hang out on your patio, it's great to have this much coverage. You can see we also have the window awning package with it. Okay, let's keep moving down. This compartment, we have another pull-out tray. It's only about half or 2/3 of the way in there. We've got our Oasis on the back side of it. Also over here on the right, you can see our central vacuum. The attachments and hoses are in the next bay. It's nice that you can bring it out and clean out your storage compartments with that same vacuum that you would use inside. You also notice they always give you a couple of extra floor tiles if you should need them. You've got your controllers here for your awnings. One of the neat things about the underbelly, when I open any one of these doors, the LED light comes on, so you don't have to search for a light to find what you're looking for in the dark. Another thing, the slides are open, so it's not as easy to point out, but I like to talk about Newmar's flush slides. And you can see where this part of the fascia, it's going to tuck right into this corner and make a smooth, flush surface there. The beauty about that is, number one, you don't have the fascia overhanging where rain, if you're driving 60 miles an hour in a rainstorm, it can drive that water right into the seal, get around the seal, and get inside. Also, there's a lot more wind noise when they overlap. So this is a quieter ride, a better seal, a true flush slide. And another thing I want to point out, this little latch here, if you look up above, they have automatic lockout. So when that slide comes in, you can see that part up on top. When this shuts tight, it comes in, it closes the top, it seals the whole thing in tight. So as you're going down the road, it's not leaking out. Now there are manual lockouts you can get. You can even get the transit bars that go in between the fascia and your slide out to help keep them tight. But I like having these autos. You don't have to worry about it. Whether it's in or out, it locks it down tight. Okay. This is a great improvement. Now, it may not do much for the average customers, but the techs love it. This bundle of wires used to be in the back closet, kind of by the shoe rack, and it just looked like a bird's nest. They cleaned it up, they made it easy to access. This comes off. You can actually get behind there if you need to. When they're doing electrical work and having to track down a problem, it's just so much easier to get into it this way. This wasn't much of a compartment. You had room for maybe some tools or some oil anyway, so a great use of the space here. Plus, it opens up more room back in the closet for you. This is one of our sensors. We do have collision mitigation, lane assist, blind spot monitoring, and so forth throughout, so you'll see those sensors as we walk around the coach. And then the next thing I'd like to point out is a difference in these two wheels. Now, your front axle is your dually, that's a fixed axle. Your back one here, the tag axle, is actually a passive steering tag. Those tires will tilt as you go around a corner or as you're backing into a parking spot. And I believe on a Freightliner, it's a 17-degree cant now. So it really cuts down your turning radius, and it prevents the scrubbing of the tire. So as you're backing into a tight spot, you're not sliding that tire and wearing it out faster. Whenever you see the two different hubs like that, generally that tells you we've got a passive steer axle. And you can see our leveling jack in between those two tires. We do have them down all the way, fully automatic levelers. Okay, in this compartment, we do have our DEF. Now we can fill our DEF from either side. We've got a 10-gallon tank, 105 gallons of fuel. And then over here, our chassis starting batteries, master battery disconnect right here. That's the particulate combustion chamber, helps clean the diesel exhaust. Everything since 2007, I think, had that chamber. And in 2011, they started using the DEF. Another thing, right here is an egress door for the bathroom. It's behind the toilet, so if you do have to get out, this opens and a ladder will drop down. But it kind of shows you right here what I'm talking about with the flush slides. You can see how smooth that is. The air is not going to get down there below the seal. And this is the way all of our Slideouts sit inside the frame also. Another option that I'll talk about, this one doesn't have it, but it's called the blackout package. And we have another Dutch Star that just came in with the blackout package. Somebody will be doing that video in a day or two. You get your black American Racing rims. You can get the black chrome baggage door on the bottom there. That looks really sharp. You get black mirrors, and even all of your raised lettering is done in black. So the Onyx package, they call it, which just trims it out all in black, and it looks really sharp. You'll see one of those coaches in a couple of days here when we do that video. Another sensor right there. Come around back, and of course we have the 2-inch receiver. We are rated at 15,000 pounds here. 7-way plug. Hooked up with the integrated brake controller right there. Let's take a look at the, this is the 8.9 liter Cummins. It's 450 horsepower, 1,250 foot-pounds of torque. And when you get to the Dutch Star level, the radiator goes from the back over to the side. So the first thing, it's obviously a lot easier to get into your engine here. Check your coolant, engine oil, transmission, dipstick, power steering fluid, all of your water separator. Everything is so easy to access. This is your air filter up here, little gauge to tell you how clogged that is getting. But you can see how, you know, if you do the work yourself, how easy it is to get into this compartment. You've got a light back here that if you're working on it at night, and you can even plug in right here, preheat the engine. As we move around to the driver's side, again, one more of those sensors. You can see the radiator right here on the side. As the air flows, it's going to give you better cooling. When they're in the back, they tend to gather more dust than they do on a side radiator. Plus, it's just a bigger radiator. This is our other DEF fill right there. Again, you can do fuel and DEF from either side. Right here we get just a little storage cubby there. Maybe if you're carrying a sewer hose, you could put it in there, or gloves, or, you know, things you don't want to bring inside. This is our water compartment. Now, first off, you see we do have a power water hose. That's a power in, whole house filter. This has the macerator system, which is like a garbage disposal for your black tank. It chops it up, pumps it out, cleans out your back tank a little better. And also, with these macerators, you can actually pump the waste uphill. You can see how they label everything. It's embossed off. Sewer rinse, your black tank rinse right here. Does have the auto fill or the manual fill for your fresh water. There is a shower right there, and as you can see, all your low point drains are easy to access, your water heater bypass kit and so forth. Just really a well-designed water closet there. Another thing I talk about, I'm going to show you this hinge again. On this particular compartment door, you see how it drops down, and when I put that in, you can see it raises at 3 or 4 inches. Well, the reason they do that is because of the moor floor. This slide comes out, it drops 3 inches. If they didn't put this hinge in, we would have to make this door about that much shorter. So it just cuts off access to the upper part of the compartment. Again, it's a minor thing, but that hinge is one of the things that makes Newmar unique. Newmar's slogan is "When you know the difference." And it's the Star Foundation, the steerable tag axle, the special hinges, things like that, that set Newmar apart. So if you are looking for a diesel pusher, you owe it to yourself to at least look at, maybe drive a Newmar. They've got the Comfort Drive steering. It's a game changer, and it sets it apart from other coaches. All right, moving on. Here we've got our 50 amp power cord. Again, manual out, power in, and I like that they put the switch here on the outside of the door. Makes it a lot easier to get in. We also have our surge protector and our crossover switch in there, access to cable or satellite. Next compartment here gives us our Oasis Chinook hydronic heating. Now this provides your continuous hot water, your coach heat, engine preheat. It has one diesel element and two electric elements in there, so it's actually a little bit more efficient than the AquaHots, I would say, and it's a quieter, cleaner burning system. This is just the back side of that full pull-through compartment with the slide tray. And if you wonder why these don't go up and down, it's because the compartment is just built lower, so it clears the slide anyway. It's only that one door where you really need to do it. Okay, these are our batteries. Now, what we have there is 8 AGM batteries. I know lithium is becoming, quite popular, and it's kind of an expensive option. You could get as many as three 320 amp hour lithium batteries. From those, it allows you to run the front air conditioner, off your inverter, off your battery. Well, maybe this is a little old school in that it has a generator, it has AGM batteries, it's all an electric, all electric unit, a induction cook surface, residential refrigerator, and so forth. But this technology's been around for a long time. It's tried and true. They're really, in my opinion, most of the people camping in these are at a KOA type campground or an improved campground that you're going to be plugged in anyway. Maybe the lithium's a little bit overkill if you're not doing a lot of boondocking. Then again, we have another fuel fill right here, and a steel plate to protect it right there. You can hear our generator is running. We wanted to get the AC going inside. This has got most of our chassis circuits here. If your blinkers aren't working, if your chair's not, moving like it should, come out, check the fuse. They give you some extra fuses right here. And then you can hear it running, but this is a manual pull-out generator. It's the 8K Onan diesel, because there's only 2 air conditioners. In the 43-foot models, that'll jump to a 10K generator there. Then as we walk around front, a couple of things I'll point out. We have our on guard, we've got the collision avoidance system here, adaptive cruise control, 360 camera throughout. So the Dutch Star is really getting to the point where all of the upper end luxury ones, as far as the safety features, the driving conveniences and things like that. Let's go ahead and step inside and take a look at the floor plan. While you're walking up, let me show you here. We've got a little bit of storage. So, for your dog leashes or doggy bags, muddy shoes, gloves, things like that. Great place to store them as you're walking in. So once again, what we're looking at is a 4081 Newmar Dutch Star on the 450 horse. This is the level where I really consider the luxury coaches to start. Let's take a look at what we've got up front here. Storage compartment, we do have a 42-inch TV. This one is an option. It would come with extra cabinets if you didn't have that. Over here is a lot of our controls, slide out controls here. Our window awnings, block heater, security lights, everything up here. This is the one that that runs our Girard system. Oops, I don't want to do that. Let's keep them out. But we've got a couple of different channels there. Weingart satellite system. This is our power control monitor. So you can scroll through and see how much current you're drawing and so forth. And then we do have our shade controls right up here. Another thing, this is equipped with Starlink. Starlink has pretty much become an option on everything now from Newmar. So if you're concerned with staying in touch as you're going down the road, you can go ahead and get that Starlink. Over here, let me point out a couple of things too. Newmar gives you the customer specialists for Dutch Star and help numbers for both Spartan and Freightliner here, but it's really important to learn that those numbers are there to be used. Don't be afraid to call them. They can walk you through things right there, as you're working on your coach. Also, we have a technical advisor, Bill Habercorn's his name. He can do the same thing. One of the benefits of buying from Transwest is what you get after the sale. And having Bill available to answer questions, to tell you, yeah, you're not using this system right, or you're right, something's wrong, we need to check it out. Having an expert like that to go over the systems with you is just invaluable. And again, one of the benefits when you do buy from Transwest. Okay, let's take a look at the floor plan now. First thing you might notice is there's 2 couches here. Usually you'll find theater seats, you'll find maybe a couple of recliners here, and they'll put a smaller fold and tumble pull-out. Well, here we've got a full queen pull-out. The other one is just a jackknife, but you've got a couple of nice extra sleeping spots. I'm not going to pull it out. We've done that on a lot of videos. If you want to see it, get a hold of me and I can come back and do that for you. Up here above the couch, we've got a really long, wide open storage compartment here. Behind the stiles, if you reach back there, you don't feel a wrap. You can tell that this is solid wood cabinetry. And they have the great hidden hinges too. Love the colors in here. As we move back, we come to our dinette table, and this is kind of a unique dinette table. You've got the option to kind of use it as a buffet or a desk there. You can turn it this way, put it back in. We've got a couple of more folding chairs under the bed. And then we do get some actual usable storage shelves underneath. So we've got 3 of them going across there. Well, that one's kind of hard to see. There we go. No shelves in that one. Looks like it has the subwoofer down there. And then, of course, before you travel, run your slides in, you have to switch this back. There we go. Then overhead, a few more cabinets up there. Okay, across from your main couch, we've got our elevator, and I see it kind of part way up there, which makes me a little bit curious. There we go. Somebody just stopped it halfway up. So as well as having a televator there, let me see. We do have the electric MCD shades here. So let's say I just want my day shades. Can put them down. Or if it's getting late at night, I might want to do all my night shades. You can control the shades in the bedroom, in the bathroom, everything from here. There's 4 or 5 of these panels throughout the coach where you'll be able to control your shades, your televator, your lights, accent lights, everything like that. Okay, and let's take a look over on this side now. Got a little storage, a little video compartment up here. Now, rarely, I mean, this has a satellite. You'd have to get your own box. But they don't come with DVD players anymore. People are using streaming services or connecting through their Starlink. So they give you a compartment there for video components, but there's nothing in it, just all your hookups. Okay, let's take a look at the kitchen. Now we've got a nice extension here, a couple of full pull-out drawers, and look how long those drawers are. And like all of them, these are soft close. Another large silverware drawer. And above that is our dishwasher. And the dishwasher, you can only get open if you have 110 power. We have our generator running right now. When I talked about this being an all-electric coach, what I mean is there's no propane. You get an induction cook surface, and the beauty about this one is it actually lifts up. You can unplug it, take it outside, and cook under your awning if you'd like. Any metallic pan, anything a magnet will stick to, will work on this induction cook surface. By the way, look at the countertops and the backsplashes. They've made some nice improvements in the colors and interiors this year. In fact, this interior is called the Baltra decor, and it's the Tilburg graphics on the outside. It must be a full-time job just coming up with the names of these colors. Okay, over here we have our farm sink, and I like the farm sink. You know, it comes all the way out, becomes part of your edge of the countertop, but not only is it deep, but they divide it and they put the divider down here halfway. So if you have longer, maybe a skillet you've been using or big pots and pans, you've got a bigger area to wash them here. But when you want two separate sinks, it's nice. And you can always get a little vegetable rack or something to put right here when you're prepping food. But just a great looking farm sink here. And these do have residential style fixtures. Another nice option that they put in is the window. We've got the shade down right now, so you can't see it, but there is a kitchen window right there. Get a little bit more storage, and it's nice to have this pull-out tray. You know, a lot of women and, you know, some guys aren't tall enough to be able to reach the very back of that. So it's nice to have the ability to pull that out to reach whatever you've got back there. There is a little bit of storage up there, maybe for spices or smaller items. And then the microwaves now actually are air fryers and convection ovens. So comes with a little basket there, all set up to do your air frying. Then I guess under the sink here, again, these pullouts are nice. Makes it easy to access what's in the back there. They give you a place for your trash can. And if you look over here, there's a couple of grooved, dealies there. That's for storing your sink covers and so forth. It's nice that they provide a place for that. Okay, let's move back toward the middle of the coach. First of all, we do have a residential refrigerator. What I mean by that is this is all electric. It won't run on propane. It's a 110 refrigerator. I believe this is an 18.7 cubic footer. A lot of room in the freezer area. And these residentials have become so efficient, they're not a big drain on your batteries. Over here next to it, you get a nice pantry. You got to push those in to release them. But again, they pull out all the way. 6 drawers there. And they're adjustable if you do want to move them. Okay, across from the refrigerator, we get our main monitor panel. This is a 10-inch panel. You can see here both chassis, house batteries. Tells you what level our tanks are at. Water pump on and off. You've got all your lights there. Auto gen. This is a nice feature. It's one of the things I talked about a little bit with your lithium batteries and solar compared to the old school, the AGM batteries and the auto gen start. I'm going to set this when my batteries get down to 12.1, 12.2 volts. It's going to kick on my generator automatically. Charge up those batteries, or maybe you're going for a walk and you're leaving a dog inside and it's going to hit 90 degrees. You can set it by temperature. So when this coach hits 75, let's say, your generator fires up, you've already got your air conditioner preset to come on, keeps your dog cool while you're out on your hike. So you do all that right here through your auto gen start. You notice we do have floor heat. There's 3 zones. And that floor heat is in the thin set, right below the tile. It's electric, it's not hydronic, which is a better system. We do have our fans, our fantastic fans. Again, we can do all our shades from here, HVAC. And then you can pair a phone in. Now there's a new app through Newmar where pretty much everything I can do on this monitor panel, I can do from my phone now, and that will work any place in the world you are remotely. Okay, let's take a look at the half bath. One of the things that's kind of unique is this hinge right here. You see how the center slide works. The reason they do that, with the main slide in, with this door closed, if it's hinged on the side, you might only get it open that far and have to squeeze through. But look how easy it is to get in here now with that hinge. And I'm just gonna open a few things up and then get out of here. Let's take a look at what we've got. Excuse me. So you can see a nice vessel sink there, plenty of counter space, porcelain toilet, and again, you do have a macerator with this system. There is a fantastic fan overhead, so you can circulate some air through here. And then I will just pop these open and show you. They've cleaned this up quite a bit too. This is your 110 breakers and then your fuses. And they're on the left. You can see they've got everything labeled. They do provide some extra fuses for you. So this coach, the 4081, it's 40 feet 10 inches bumper to bumper with a full wall slide, ample room in the half bath. Oh, by the way, this is our central vac system. Okay, as we move back into the bedroom, let me open these. You can see on both sides of the bed, you've got a pedestal, and there is 110 outlets, USB, USB-C ports. And again, a open storage area, very deep storage area with 4 drawers there. You've got a plug there. You do have a couple access ports, so maybe you just want to charge your phone there. Maybe you've got a sleep apnea machine you can put in, drop the line down right there. I like the headboard they put in here too. That's a nice one this year. And on the side, you've got 2 functioning windows. Lift those up, get a nice cross breeze, turn on one of your fantastic fans. It really draws some nice air through here. And another thing, while we're talking about the air and the AC, I've got the AC running now. Newmar covers their AC vents with this decorative cover. So it really looks sharp. Now I can drop this down, get in there and clean out my screens and so forth. But one of the things the Newmar does that's different on their AC is it runs right down the middle of the coach, both the return air and the output air. The nice thing about that, a lot of them you'll see the little round pucks way over here. When this slide comes in, that air conditioning vent is over your slide out. And if you're driving through Texas in July, maybe you want to run your generator, turn on the ACs to keep your passengers a little bit cooler. So it's nice to have them run right down the middle. It is ducted air conditioning, so it's more efficient. And again, great looking ceiling to cover that up. Okay, let's take a look under the bed here. You can see we've got a couple of folding chairs, matching fabric to the living room. And you've got enough storage there for bedding, linens, pillows, you know, firearms, other things you might want to keep under there. Across from the bed, Get a couple of shirt closets, one on each side. And then we have 5 drawers and then one area here for video components again. You can see right above me, we've got another TV. I think that one is a 39. That might be a 41. A couple of pull-out drawers that are deep. 2 more over here. And I like the fact that this top one comes all the way out from under the cabinet so I can access it a little bit easier. Another wardrobe area for you. Okay, and this brings us to the bathroom. Now there is a step up, but one of the great improvements Newmar made almost 10 years ago, in fact it was 2016, they lowered the step into the bathroom. They put this arched cathedral type ceiling in here to raise the height, so it gives you more headroom when you're taking a shower. You're not as likely to stumble as you go in and out of the bathroom. Right here as you come in, we do have our stackable Splendide washer and dryer. Then across from that is our shower, and I'll go ahead and step in here, show you how much room I've got. So again, I'm almost 5'8", plenty of room for me. If you're 6.5 foot tall, you're going to be able to fit in here and take a shower. They've got a nice waterfall shower head there, a handheld shower head, and then our AquaView, or water miser they call it. This is a system that's going to save your fresh water and keep you from filling up your gray tank too fast as you're waiting for the water to warm up to take a shower. It's recirculating it back into the freshwater tank. Once this turns on, then it tells you the water's warm. You flip the switch, take your shower. Now you're putting it into the gray tank. So you're not filling the gray tank. You're not wasting fresh water while you're waiting for it to heat up. And nice, really tile sidewalls with a teak seat. Like I say, 40 feet, almost 41. This isn't huge for a diesel pusher, but it is big enough, and this shower certainly has ample room. Okay, I'd mentioned earlier about the egress door, and that is actually right here. I do have my shades down, but if I pull this tab right here, there is a ladder that comes out. And this this trim right here comes off the valances. It pulls off very easily if you need it to get out. And again, this is only a one-way door. It can only be opened from inside. Okay, let's take a look at some of the storage here. Very large medicine cabinet. We have 6 drawers here, storage space under the sink, and these do pull out quite a ways. And over here, another little cubby hole, a couple of larger drawers, and then one more wardrobe place. So once again, we're in a 2026 Dutch Star 4081, truly one of the more popular floor plans, which is a full wall slide bath and a half. If you have questions on this or any of our products, please reach out to us. You can contact me at call or text at 970-631-0083, or send me an email at mlove@transwest.com. Let me know if you have any questions or anything I can help you with. Summer's almost here. Weather's warming up. Time to get out there and do some RVing, folks. Happy trails. Travel safe when you're out there. and I will see you next week.